Number 3 is similar to the second one. It's just something's going to be kind of in reverse, and so you'll see in a second what I mean. So we're back to talking about the pickup truck, and so let's remind ourselves what we said there. We said that the pickup truck is 1995. Again, we'll just go ahead and rewrite the equation we came up with in the first problem. 1995 plus 59 cents per mile. And the thing that's going to come into play here is this first 30 miles. Right? So again, 30 miles are included. Or if you want to kind of think of them as being free, right? Because you're not having to pay extra for them. I mean, you paid for those 30 miles within the base charge for the truck, but not extra. So what it says is how many miles were traveled in a pickup truck that cost $32.93. So what they're giving us, they're actually telling us what the bill was as far as how much it cost. So I'm going to substitute that in for y, right? Because if you remember, y represents our cost. So I would have 32.93 equals 19.95 plus 59 cents per mile. And again, our y, our x and our y, x represents number of miles. And by the way, a variable always represents number of and then something, right? So it's always number of, and then in this case we could say number of dollars, right? Which another way to say that is just the cost. Alright, so we're actually solving for x because it says how many miles. So if it says how many miles, what that's saying is it's saying to solve for x. Okay, well I can do that. How many miles did we go? Well, let's subtract out the $19.95 that you paid up front. Right, so we would subtract $19.95 from both sides because we're trying to get at the miles. Right, so we want to isolate or get x by itself. And then 32.93 minus the 19.95. I'll go ahead and pull my calculator back out from the first problem. So 32.93 minus 19.95. So we get 12.98. And you know, being able to add, subtract, multiply, divide decimals is something that you need to know, be able to do by hand. But this test isn't about decimals, right? So this test is really about solving an equation. So we're having the calculator do some of that work for us. So 12.98 is what we paid extra. That was our kind of overage. So to figure out how many miles that was, then we'll just divide what we paid total, 12.98 over 59 cents. So when we go to divide that, let's do 12.98 divided by 0.59, and we get 22. Now, don't box your answer yet. You're thinking 22 is the answer. 22 just represents the extra miles that we paid for. Right? This represents the overage. Because remember, we got some for free. Right? So if we were to include what we got in for free, let me just scroll down here a little bit. So if you recall, right, we got 30 for free, or included. So if we wanted to know how many total miles was our trip, well, that means our total trip would have been 52 miles. So again, when we were solving for x, we were just solving for the number of miles that we went over, right, or that we had to pay extra for. But if we're wanting to know how many miles we traveled on the trip, we have to include those miles that we got for free. So 52 miles would be the total. So on the next two problems here, don't forget to add back in 30. So on 3.2 and 3.3, you're going to get a number, right, like I got 22, but then you're going to have to add back in 30 to that to get the right answer. All right, so go ahead and pause now and try 3.2 and 3.3. Alright, so let's see what you got. 3.2, you should have got a total of 119 miles. Would have been 89 extra miles that you had to pay for, so the 89 plus the 30 that were included would give you the 119. And then on 3.3, when you solve for x, you would have got 54. But again, that's just the extra miles that you had to pay for. So plus the 30 would give you a total of 84. All right, well, so that finishes up number 3.